All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with IT and electronic manufacturing professionals and key industry leaders this afternoon. In Chhattisgarh, scrutiny of nomination papers for the first phase of assembly elections to be taken up today. Election Commission expresses satisfaction over poll preparations in Telangana. India and UAE resolve to further strengthen their strategic and bilateral relations. In Asian Champions Hockey, match between India and Malaysia ends in a goalless draw at Muscat. And in cricket, second one-day international between India and West Indies to be played in Visakhapatnam today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with IT and electronic manufacturing professionals and key industry leaders from across the country in New Delhi today. Professionals from about 100 locations across India are expected to join the event through video conference. Mr. Modi will also address the gathering. A report.
On this occasion, the Prime Minister will launch Main Nahi Hum portal and app. The portal works on the theme Self for Society and will enable IT professionals and organizations to bring together their efforts towards social causes and service to society on one platform. In doing so, the portal is expected to help catalyze greater collaboration towards the service of the weaker sections of society, especially by leveraging the benefits of technology. It is also expected to generate wider participation of interested people who are motivated to work for the benefit of society. With Divakar, Tripti Srivastav, AIR News, Delhi.
In Chhattisgarh, scrutiny of nominations for the first phase of assembly elections will take place today. Yesterday was the last day for filing of nomination papers for the first phase. More from our Raipur correspondent.
Till the last day of filing the nomination for 18 constituencies which are going to poll in the first phase in Chhattisgarh, total 421 nomination papers had been filed by more than 250 candidates. On the last day, 323 nominations were filed by the candidates. These 18 assembly segments include 12 seats of all 7 districts of moist affected Bastar division and 6 constituencies of Rajnandgaon district. These constituencies are in the most moist affected region of Chhattisgarh. The last date for withdrawal of nomination papers for first phase is October 26. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
Chief Election Commissioner O.P. Rawat reviewed the poll preparedness and law and order situation in each district of Telangana in Hyderabad yesterday. The 11-member high-level team headed by CEC is on a 3-day visit to the state since Monday. Addressing the district electoral officers and superintendents, Mr. Rawat expressed satisfaction over the poll preparedness. He asked the district authorities to be highly professional, neutral and objective in ensuring free and fair poll. Our correspondent reports that the Commission emphasized the need for implementing a 360-degree, 4-dimension sweep campaign to build confidence, educate, facilitate and motivate electors. Here is a report.
The Commission considered even minute details like requirement of poll personnel, complaints over electoral roll, process of testing EVMs and VVPATs, incidents during the last election and the counter plans for the local issues and measures that are being taken to create awareness among electors and increase poll turnout. The members of the high-level team have given suitable directions as and when they observe the need for improvement when the district authorities were presenting. The Commission has asked the district officials to step up voter awareness and laid emphasis on conducting inclusive election. The Commission will meet the senior officials in Income Tax, Excise, Transport Department, besides bankers, coordinators and senior state government officials today before leaving for Delhi. Lakshmi, AIR News, Hyderabad.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said girls' education should be the center of women empowerment. Addressing the 13th convocation of Jamia Hamdard University in New Delhi yesterday, he stressed the need to empower students, especially girls, by providing skills apart from academic excellence to compete in global job market.
Women's education, women's empowerment is very important. Like Swachh Bharat became a mass movement, empowering the girl child should also become a mass movement, a cause close to the hearts of every Indian. It is up to the institutions like this university to educate more women and inspire them to become a productive part of the workforce, which would soon become India's claim to fame given its huge youth population.
In Jammu and Kashmir, a gunfight has raged between unidentified terrorists and security forces in Naugam area in Srinagar outskirts this morning. 2 terrorists are believed to be trapped in a residential house and the gunfight is going on. Details are awaited. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Also, you can log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, yesterday discussed further advancing of the historical and strategic friendship ties between the two countries. Over a phone call yesterday, the two leaders reaffirmed their robust strategic partnerships and their determination to develop their bilateral relations to the higher good of their people. The Emirates news agency reported last night that the two leaders exchanged insights over an array of international and regional issues, with emphasis on the latest developments in the Middle East region. The Water, Energy, Technology and Environment Exhibition, or the WETEX 2018, kicked off in Dubai yesterday. Indian Pavilion at the Dubai International Convention and Exhibition Centre was inaugurated by Consul Economic Affairs Rahul Srivastav. The 3-day exhibition is dubbed as the world's leading sustainability fair in the region. Our West Asia correspondent has filed this report.
More than 40 Indian exhibitors having expertise in the field of water, solar and renewable energy, electrical, oil and gas, wire and cables, etc. are participating in the 3-day exhibition. The Indian Pavilion at WETEX 2018, set up by the Indian Chamber of Commerce with support of the Consulate General of India, Dubai, and the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, is in line with the vision and commitment of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to have sustainable and inclusive growth for all with access to clean water, electricity and housing. Kanchan Prasad, AIR News, Dubai.
The government is committed to reduce tax rates, and if the number of taxpayers rises at the same pace in the coming years, tax rates can be reduced further. Central Board of Direct Taxes Chairman Sushil Chandra, in an exclusive interview to All India Radio News, said the major focus of the government is the welfare of taxpayers. Mr. Chandra said,
"We have given continuous benefit to the taxpayer. And this government is really committed for the welfare of the taxpayer, for a better tax structure, for a better tax compliance, and definitely be after the tax evaders."
The National Health Mission is proving to be a boon for people across the country. It has been instrumental in providing facilities in government hospitals that were earlier available only in private hospitals. People in Chamarajanagar in Karnataka are reaping the benefits of the scheme. Here is a ground report from our correspondent.
The district hospital in Chamarajanagar has started a dialysis unit with the assistance provided under the National Health Mission. The district health officer in Chamarajanagar, Dr. Prasad, has said,
"We have started 10-bedded dialysis center in the Chamarajanagar district hospital. 400 to 500 patients from BPL and APL category can now be treated in the unit. The unit was created jointly with the center and state government. This unit has reduced the waiting list of patients who have to undergo dialysis."
Kudiru Nahanna is a dialysis patient who has benefited from the unit. Says,
"I am undergoing dialysis for the past 7 years. I incurred 10 to 12,000 rupees expenditure per month for dialysis earlier. But now under National Health Mission, the poor patients like me have benefited. Now I am availing the service free of cost."
National Health Mission will gradually create necessary healthcare infrastructure at grassroots level, thereby benefiting the rural poor. R. Murthy, AIR News, Bengaluru.
President Ramnath Kovind today greeted the fellow citizens on the Jayanti of Adi Kavi Maharshi Valmiki. In a tweet, he described him as a symbol of social equity and harmony. He added that Maharshi Valmiki's instructive life and example and his composition of the Ramayana continue to inspire people. In hockey, defending champions India were held to a goal-less draw last night by Malaysia in their penultimate round-robin match of the Asian Champions Trophy hockey tournament at Muscat, Oman. India and Malaysia have already secured their places in the semi-finals of the tournament. With an unbeaten record so far in the tournament, India lead the table with 10 points from 4 matches. Malaysia have the same number of points, but they are behind India on goal difference. India will take on South Korea in their last round-robin match today. In cricket, India will play their second one-day international against the West Indies in Visakhapatnam today. The match will start at 1:30 p.m. India lead the 5-match ODI series 1-0. Captain Virat Kohli, if adds another 81 runs to his awe-inspiring tally in this match, he will become the fastest man to score 10,000 runs in this format, surpassing the iconic Sachin Tendulkar. Sarod Maestro Amjad Ali Khan will today pay homage to Mahatma Gandhi at an annual UN Day concert through a soulful rendition from his instrument. The concert will be held in the General Assembly Hall at UN headquarters in New York today. Mr. Khan will be accompanied by his sons Aman Ali Bangash and Ayan Ali Bangash and the Refugee Orchestra project conducted by Lydia Yankovskaya. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you, Anuja. The Home Minister assessing security and interacting with political parties in his Srinagar visit asserted talks and terror can't go together. The Asian Age, quoting the Prime Minister of Pakistan, says, "We'll reach out to India again post-2019 polls." The strict guidelines of the Supreme Court for bursting firecrackers have sent shockwaves through the cracker market in the country. Diwali breather chokes sellers, writes the Mail today. The DNA quotes the trader, "Cracker sale to take a blow. Black Diwali for us." NCP Chief Sharad Pawar says, "Opposition pact unlikely for Lok Sabha polls," is a headline in the Tribune, with the current situation in the country being similar to the one in 2004. A leading law firm pulls back clean sheet for Chanda Kochar for charges of nepotism and conflict of interest with regard to loans given to the Videocon Group is a story covered in the Financial Express. About the ongoing battle in the CBI between its two top officers, the Indian Express writes, "Number 1 versus number 2. Asthana stripped of all responsibilities at CBI. Probe against him continues." The headline in the Times of India says, "CBI number 2 Rakesh Asthana ran extortion racket in garb of probe," says agency. While the Hindu writes, "Modi steps in as CBI begins to probe its own leadership." Hindustan Times on its front page says, "China won't let Azhar be listed as a terrorist," indicating China will continue blocking efforts to list Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar as a global terrorist. The Indian Express quotes IIT Madras, writing to HRD Minister expressing deep disappointment at not being selected as one of India's top 6 institutions of eminence despite a recommendation from the UGC mandated selection panel. And finally, the Hindustan Times mentions about the Delhi government's Directorate of Education coming up with guidelines to make its schools inclusive of transgender students and to train principals of all government-run schools on handling issues relating to them. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Abhishek. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with IT and electronic manufacturing professionals and key industry leaders this afternoon. In Chhattisgarh, scrutiny of nomination papers for the first phase of assembly elections to be taken up today. Election Commission expresses satisfaction over poll preparations in Telangana. India and UAE resolve to further strengthen their strategic and bilateral relations. In Asian Champions hockey match between India and Malaysia ends in a goalless draw at Muscat. And in cricket, second one-day international between India and West Indies to be played in Visakhapatnam today. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.